Continuing on with the scrapbook here, with this article titled Police Arrest 1971 Hijacking Suspect. The counterculture revolutionary who hijacked an Air Canada jet by gunpoint 30 years ago and vanished when it landed in Cuba left behind something crucial: his fingerprints on a soda can. Police used that clue to nab Patrick Dolan Critton this weekend after having tricked the schoolteacher into touching a photo. Oh, he was a schoolteacher? Police used that clue to nab Patrick Dolan Critton this weekend after having tricked the schoolteacher into touching a photo and allegedly connecting his fingerprints on it to those from the soda can. Critton, 54, wow, was charged with kidnapping, armed robbery, and extortion stemming from the December 26, 1971 hijacking. During a court appearance Monday, Critton was ordered held without bail. He faces extradition to Canada. Critton allegedly hijacked Air Canada Flight 932 while the plane was en route from Thunder Bay, Ontario to Toronto. He allegedly brandished a handgun and a grenade and demanded to be flown to Cuba. Huh. The plane landed in Toronto, and all the passengers were allowed to get off. The aircraft then flew to Havana with 6 crew members and Critton aboard, authorities said. Once in Havana, Critton allegedly exited and the plane flew back to Toronto. Shortly after the hijacking, Critton's fingerprints were matched to prints taken from the soda can he is believed to have touched while on the plane, said Barry Mon, assistant director of the FBI's New York office. Canadian officials asked U.S. authorities for help. They learned Critton had taught elementary school in New York City in 1969. His file was then pulled containing his fingerprints, Wells said. Police went to Critton's neighborhood in August, asking residents to look at a photo of a missing child. When Critton I got a typo here. When Critton was, I'm just guessing here, but that's what that word is supposed to be. It says Wapolics. When Critton was approached, he touched the picture. The prints allegedly matched sets from the Board of Education files, plus the prints on the soda can. Wow. An attack on our civilization. Well, should I read that one too? Yeah, okay, I will. In January 1997, former FBI Director William Webster warned that a terrorist attack may one day kill thousands of people in the United States. On Tuesday, that happened. One senator compared it to Pearl Harbor in its impact. Yeah, in what can only be a highly coordinated attack, hijacked airliners slammed into both towers of the World Trade Center in New York and the Pentagon. Another plane crashed near Pittsburgh. In Webster's article, which was printed in Reader's Digest and newspapers throughout the country, including this one. Webster called for 3 things: increased intelligence, improved emergency response, and certain punishment for terrorists and rewards for those who have information to stop terrorists. One of the frightening aspects of this attack is having no information. We don't know what kind of enemy we are up against. It is impossible to defend against someone willing to die and unconcerned about how many people he takes with him. It is a somber time in the United States, a time for unity. All we can do now as we watch the events unfold and search for meaning is to wait for more information and hope for the best and pray. Mall closes. The Valley View Mall in La Crosse joined malls nationwide in closing Tuesday after deadly attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. Angie Martin, assistant marketing manager of the Valley View Mall, said the mall closed at 1 p.m. based on a directive from the International Council of Shopping Centers, an organization to which the mall belongs. The ICSC urged its members to shut down not out of concerns about safety or security, but because of the gravity of this morning's events, Martin said. It's strictly out of respect for the happenings of the day and the people who lost their lives, Martin said. It's strictly an issue of respect and remembrance. Martin said a lot of the stores in the mall also got directives from their corporate headquarters to close early so employees could go home and hug their families and pray. The mall will have normal hours today. America under attack. Security guardsmen block off the entrance to the National Guard Armory in Alaska on Tuesday after the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. Here's a photo. Insurance costs for attack. The terrorist destruction of the World Trade Center towers will be the largest man-made disaster in U.S. history, topping the $775 million paid out in insurance in the Los Angeles riots, an expert predicted Tuesday. Other experts said the losses will almost certainly wind up in the billions after factoring in property losses, workers' compensation claims, including payments to family of the dead, and accident and business interruption claims that will undoubtedly result for years to come. Communication problems. Many people reached for their phones after the attack on the World Trade Center towers to see if loved ones were safe, but most calls wouldn't go through. The toppled Twin Towers, which symbolize New York's financial prowess. So that's why they were targeting. The toppled Twin Towers, which symbolized New York's financial prowess. Like, that's a reason to kill all these people. Financial prowess. Also housed equipment and antennas that transmitted millions of calls each day, while calls could what? While calls could were routed around damaged facilities. An unprecedented volume of traffic overwhelmed an already strained communication system, cutting off much of a metropolis dependent, like any modern city, on telecommunications. Similarly, internet traffic slowed and major news websites were jammed Tuesday as people craving details on the World Trade Center and Pentagon attacks flooded online. The internet search engine Google directed news seekers to radio and television. Many online news services are not available because of extremely high demand, a statement read on the popular site's homepage. America Online's instant messenger service was sporadic in New York. AOL's dial-up connections in New York were constantly busy, although the service was sometimes reachable by making long-distance calls elsewhere. McCoy security at Gulf War level. Fort McCoy in Wisconsin. I think I'm going to skip that one. Answer children's questions with both truth and care. If I was a little kid when this happened, I wonder what that would have what the experience would have been like. Because when you're a little kid, at least when I'm remembering being a little kid, I just liked playing with toys and watching cartoons, and I didn't pay attention to world events. So kind of hard to imagine thinking what it would be like being a little kid and having this happen. I would think just being ignorant of the whole situation, which might actually be a good thing. Because what little kid needs to know about this kind of thing? But I suppose, like, if the kid's in the room and like the parent has the the news on the TV and they see it, they might be like, "Oh, what's going on?" Kind, Congressman Ron Kind, urges patience during investigation. The age of innocence is lost in this country. Here's Ron Kind. Medical centers on alert. Blood donors should wait a bit. Right now, the Red Cross blood supply is at an all-time high. Hmm. Slow phone day at Century. Um, Here's Jim Carrey. On a lighter note, Jim Carrey. Okay, Grinch Home Alone this year. Jim Carrey, star of the #1 movie Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and actress Renee Zellweger are no longer a couple. Carrey publicist Marlea Leslie confirmed the split Tuesday after a Zellweger representative divulged in a TV interview that the couple wasn't together anymore. They parted ways a few weeks ago. Jim Carrey. Yeah, he was good as the Grinch. It's like he was made for that part.